What if God gave you the exact same power He used to create the entire universe, but you've been living your whole life not knowing how to use it? Before I reveal what Dolores Cannon discovered through 45 years of communicating with the higher self of thousands of people, the exact power that God gave you to create anything you desire, and why 99% of humanity is living without ever using it, I need you to do something that will change everything right now. Close your eyes for 3 seconds. Take a deep breath and ask yourself this question. What if I already have within me the power to create anything I want? What if I've been walking around with God's creative force inside me and never knew how to activate it? If you felt that, Jen, that electric recognition that something huge has been hidden from you your whole life, write in the comments, "I am a co-creator with God." This declaration is not wishful thinking. This is not affirmation. This is you announcing to the universe what Dolores discovered is the truth, that you were created in God's image, which means you were given God's power. The power to create, the power to manifest, the power to bring into physical reality anything your heart desires. Do it now, because what I'm about to share will shatter every lie you've been told about limitation, about lack, about powerlessness. You're about to remember the most important truth of your existence. Listen very carefully, because what I'm about to tell you comes directly from the mouths of thousands of people's higher selves. That part of us that is always connected to God, that knows everything, that has access to infinite wisdom. Through her quantum healing hypnosis technique, Dolores Cannon spent 45 years asking the same questions over and over. Why are we here? What is our purpose? What power do we have? And the answer that came through, session after session, client after client, year after year, was so stunning, so revolutionary, so absolutely mind-blowing that it changed everything we thought we knew about who we are. The higher self told Dolores this: humans are co-creators with God. They were given the divine power to create their reality. They were designed to be God's partners in creation, but they have forgotten. They have been told they are powerless. They have been taught they are victims. They have been convinced they are limited, and so they live as slaves when they were born as gods. Let that sink in for a moment. You were not created to be powerless. You were not designed to struggle. You were not meant to live in lack, in fear, in limitation. You were created in the image of God. And what is God? God is the creator. God is infinite creative power. God creates through thought, through word, through intention, through consciousness. And you were given that exact same ability. Now here's the heartbreaking truth that Dolores discovered. Despite having this incredible, unlimited, divine creative power within us, 99% of humanity lives and dies without ever using it, without even knowing it exists. Why? The higher self revealed 3 devastating reasons. First, we've been programmed to forget. From the moment you were born, you've been told you're limited. You've been taught you're small. You've been convinced you're powerless. The education system, the religious system, the social system, all of them have one message: you are not enough. You need something outside yourself. You need to work hard. You need to struggle. You need to suffer. Success is rare. Money is limited. Health is fragile. You are a victim of circumstances. This is not truth. This is programming designed to keep you from accessing your divine power. Because if you remembered who you really are, if you activated your co-creative power, the entire control structure would collapse. Second, we create from fear instead of love. Dolores discovered that the universe responds to one thing above all else: frequency. Your thoughts, your emotions, your beliefs, they all emit frequencies, and the universe matches whatever frequency you're broadcasting. God created everything from love, from joy, from abundance, from infinite possibility. That's the frequency of creation. But humans have been trapped in fear. Fear of not having enough, fear of not being enough, fear of loss, fear of failure, fear of death. And when you create from fear, you manifest more fear, more lack, more limitation, more struggle. You're using God's creative power backwards. Third, we don't believe it's possible. This is the biggest block of all. The higher self told Dolores again and again, humans have unlimited creative power, but they must believe. Without belief, the power cannot flow. Belief is the bridge between the invisible and the visible, between the spiritual and the physical, between what you desire and what you experience. You can have all the power in the universe, and you do. But if you don't believe you can use it, it stays dormant, locked, inaccessible. Now let me tell you exactly what God gave you, because understanding this will change everything. Dolores discovered through her sessions that God didn't just give humans a little bit of creative power. God gave us the full creative power, the same power that created galaxies, the same power that creates life, the same power that holds the entire universe in perfect order. Here's what that power actually is. You were given the power of consciousness. Consciousness is not just awareness. Consciousness is the fundamental creative force of the universe. Everything that exists started as consciousness, as thought, as an idea in the mind of God, and then consciousness organized energy into form. Thought became thing, invisible became visible. Dolores found that the higher self explained it like this. Consciousness is the voice of God. When you think, you are using God's creative force. When you imagine, you are using God's design ability. When you feel emotion, you are using God's energetic power. When you speak, you are using God's commanding authority. You are literally speaking things into existence the same way God does. But here's the key that almost everyone misses. God gave you free will. God doesn't control what you create. God doesn't dictate what you manifest. You have total freedom to create whatever you choose. And most people unconsciously, without knowing what they're doing, are creating lives they don't want. They're using God's power to manifest their fears instead of their dreams. Now I'm going to give you the exact formula that Dolores discovered for using God's creative power to manifest anything you desire. This is not theory. This is not philosophy. This is the actual mechanism of creation that the higher self revealed through thousands of sessions. Step 1. Know what you want, not what you think you should want, not what society says you should want, not what your parents want for you, what your soul genuinely desires. Dolores found that most people don't know what they truly want. They know what they don't want. They don't want to be broke, sick, lonely, stuck. But knowing what you don't want just creates more of it. You must get crystal clear on what you do want. And here's the secret. Your true desires come from God. The things you deeply, genuinely want, not from ego but from soul. Those desires were placed in you by God. They're not random. They're not selfish. They're your divine assignment. God gave you those desires because God wants you to create them. God wants to experience creating through you. So stop feeling guilty about wanting things. Stop calling your desires selfish. Your desires are God's desires for you. Step 2. See it with total clarity. This is where most people fail. They think about what they want in vague, general terms. I want more money. I want to be healthy. I want a good relationship. That's not clear enough for the universe to respond to. Dolores discovered that the higher self explained, the universe is like a cosmic catalog. You must order specifically. You must see in your mind exactly what you want, with details, with specificity, with clarity. Close your eyes right now. Imagine what you want as if it already exists. If you want financial abundance, see yourself checking your bank account and seeing the exact number you desire. Feel the relief, the joy, the freedom. If you want perfect health, see yourself in your body feeling strong, energized, vibrant. Feel the vitality flowing through you. If you want your dream relationship, see the person, feel the love, experience the connection. The clearer your vision, the faster it manifests, because you're giving the universe a perfect blueprint to work from. Step 3. Feel it as already done. This is the secret that changes everything. Most people try to manifest from a place of lack. I don't have this yet, I need this, I'm waiting for this. That frequency says, I lack this. And the universe responds, yes, you lack this, here's more lack. Dolores discovered that the higher self teaches this profound truth. In the quantum field, everything already exists. All possibilities, all timelines, all outcomes, the life you desire already exists in the quantum field. Your job is not to create it from nothing. Your job is to match the frequency of the reality where it already exists. This is why Jesus said, "Whatever you ask for in prayer, believe that you have received it, and it will be yours." Not will receive, have received. Present tense, already done. When you feel in your body, in your heart, in your soul that what you desire is already yours, even though your physical eyes don't see it yet, you match the frequency of that reality. And the universe has no choice but to collapse that quantum possibility into your physical experience. Step 4. Speak it into existence. Dolores discovered something absolutely stunning about the power of words. The higher self revealed, when you speak to your own body, you are the voice of God to every cell in your body. When you speak your desires out loud, you are commanding the universe with God's authority. Words are not just sounds, words are creative power. God created the universe by speaking, "Let there be light." And there was light. Word became flesh. Thought became thing. You have that same power. When you speak your desires as if they're already true, not "I will be wealthy someday," but "I am wealthy. I am healthy. I am loved. I am successful." You are using God's creative power through your voice. The universe hears God speaking through you, and the universe must respond. But here's the catch. You must believe what you speak. You can't just say words without feeling. The words must be backed by faith, by knowing, by absolute certainty. Step 5. Take inspired action. This is where many spiritual teachers get it wrong. They say, just visualize and it will come. But Dolores discovered the complete truth. God gave you creative power, but God also gave you a body. You are spirit in physical form. You must bridge the spiritual and physical. The higher self explained it this way. First, you create in consciousness. Then you allow Source to show you the next step. Then you take that step. Creation is a partnership. God provides the power, the vision, the guidance. You provide the action, the movement, the physical expression. When you're aligned with your desires, when you're holding the frequency, the universe will send you opportunities, ideas, people, synchronicities. Your job is to recognize them and act on them, not from desperation, not from force, but from inspiration, from divine guidance, from that quiet inner knowing, this is the way. Step 6. Trust the process. Dolores found that this is where most people sabotage their manifestations. They start the process, they get clear, they visualize, they feel it, they speak it, they take action, and then they doubt. Is this really working? Why hasn't it shown up yet? Maybe I'm doing it wrong, maybe I don't deserve this, maybe it's not meant for me. Every time you doubt, you cancel your creation, you lower your frequency, you disconnect from the flow. The higher self was very clear about this. Divine timing is perfect. What you've asked for is already created in the quantum field. It's making its way to you right now. Your job is to hold the frequency, to maintain the belief, to stay in trust, to know with absolute certainty that it's already yours. Sometimes manifestation happens instantly. Dolores documented cases of instant healing, instant transformation, instant manifestation. And sometimes it takes time for the physical world to reorganize itself to match your new frequency. Trust the process, trust God, trust yourself. Now let me explain why this works, because when you understand the mechanism, your faith becomes unshakable. Dolores discovered that modern quantum physics is proving what mystics have known for thousands of years. Einstein said it perfectly, and Dolores quoted him often. Everything is energy, and that's all there is to it. Match the frequency of the reality you want, and you cannot help but get that reality. It can be no other way. This is not philosophy. This is physics. The physical world you see, your body, your house, your bank account, your relationships, all of it is just energy vibrating at different frequencies. Solid matter doesn't really exist. It's all energy appearing as form. And energy responds to consciousness. Your thoughts are energy, your emotions are energy, your beliefs are energy, and they all broadcast a frequency. The universe is not punishing you or rewarding you. The universe is just matching your frequency, like a mirror. If you broadcast the frequency of lack, you receive lack. If you broadcast the frequency of abundance, you receive abundance. If you broadcast the frequency of fear, you receive more things to fear. If you broadcast the frequency of love, you receive more love. It's automatic, it's mechanical, it's law. Dolores called it conscious creation. You are always creating. Every moment, every thought, every feeling. The question is, are you creating consciously or unconsciously? Are you creating what you want or what you fear? Here's something that will set you free. Dolores discovered through her work that the higher self told her again and again, there are no limitations except the ones you create in your own mind. God placed no limitations on you. The universe has no limitations. Energy is infinite, possibilities are infinite. You can create anything, heal anything, manifest anything. The only limits are the ones you believe in. Think about that. Every limitation you experience, lack of money, lack of health, lack of love, lack of opportunity, exists because you believe it exists. You've accepted it as truth. You've made it real through your consciousness, but it's not real. It's an illusion, a construct, a belief system that you've been programmed with. The moment you stop believing in the limitation, it dissolves. Dolores documented countless cases of impossible healings, cancer disappearing, organs regenerating, decades of pain vanishing in seconds. How? The person stopped believing in the limitation. They stopped believing disease was real. They stopped believing healing takes time. They accessed their divine creative power and commanded their body to return to perfect health. And it did, because the body is just energy, and energy responds to consciousness. Your consciousness is God's consciousness expressing as you. Now I'm going to give you a daily practice that will activate and strengthen your divine creative power. Do this every single day and watch your life transform. Morning, the divine declaration. The moment you wake up, before you do anything else, place your hand on your heart. Feel your connection to God, to Source, to infinite creative power, and speak these words out loud with absolute conviction. I am created in the image of God. I am a divine being of infinite creative power. I am a co-creator with the universe. Everything I desire is already created in the quantum field. I am now calling it into my physical reality. I create with my thoughts. I manifest with my emotions. I command with my words. I am abundant, I am healthy, I am loved, I am successful, I am powerful, I am free. And so it is. Feel these words vibrating through every cell of your body. Feel yourself becoming what you're declaring. This is not pretending, this is remembering what's true. Throughout the day, the frequency check, every hour pause. Check your frequency, ask yourself, what am I creating right now? What frequency am I broadcasting? Am I in fear or in faith? Am I in lack or in abundance? Am I in doubt or in trust? If you catch yourself in a low frequency, worry, fear, doubt, anger, lack, stop immediately. Take 3 deep breaths. Place your hand on your heart and choose a higher frequency. You have that power. God gave you free will. You can choose your thoughts. You can choose your emotions. You can choose your frequency. Choose love over fear. Choose trust over doubt. Choose faith over worry. Choose abundance over lack. Every single time. Evening. The gratitude amplification. Before you sleep, spend 10 minutes in deep gratitude for everything you already have and everything that's coming. The higher self revealed to Dolores that gratitude is one of the highest frequencies in the universe. When you're in gratitude, you're in love. And love is the creative frequency of God. Thank God for your body, even if it's not perfect yet. Thank God for your money, even if you want more. Thank God for your relationships, even if they're challenging. Thank God for your desires, knowing they're already on their way. Gratitude tells the universe, I have received, I am abundant, I am blessed. And the universe responds, yes, you are. Here's more to be grateful for. Weekly, the Quantum Visioning Session. Once a week, spend 30 minutes to an hour in deep meditation and visualization. Go into the quantum field where all possibilities exist. See your life exactly as you want it. in detail. Don't just think about it. Live it in your imagination. Walk through your dream home, drive your dream car, hold your perfect partner, check your abundant bank account. Feel the joy, feel the freedom, feel the love, feel the success. Make it so real in your mind that your body can't tell the difference between imagination and reality. Because to your subconscious mind, there is no difference. What you vividly imagine, your subconscious accepts as real. And what your subconscious accepts as real, the universe must manifest. Dolores documented thousands of cases of people using this divine creative power to manifest miracles. Not miracles. Normal. This is how God designed you to live. One woman manifested perfect health after being told she had terminal cancer. She used the power. She refused to accept the limitation. She saw herself healthy, felt herself vibrant, spoke healing over every cell. Within weeks, the cancer was completely gone. Doctors called it impossible. She called it co-creation with God. One man manifested financial abundance after years of poverty. He stopped believing in lack. He started seeing himself wealthy, feeling himself free, speaking abundance, trusting the universe. Within months, opportunities appeared that brought him more money than he'd made in the previous 10 years. One couple manifested their dream relationship after years of toxic patterns. They each did the inner work. They each activated their divine power. They each became the frequency of love. And then, synchronistically, they found each other. These aren't special people. They're not more worthy than you. They're not more gifted than you. They just remembered what you're remembering right now, that God gave them the power to create their reality, and they used it. Here's the most beautiful truth that Dolores discovered. God didn't give you this creative power just so you could have things. God gave you this power because God wants to experience creation through you. Think about it. God already has everything. God is everything. God doesn't need anything. So why create humans? Why give us free will? Why give us creative power? The higher self explained it to Dolores like this. God experiences God through creation. God is infinite consciousness exploring itself through infinite expressions. You are one of those expressions. God gave you creative power so God could experience what it's like to create as a human, to overcome limitation, to manifest dreams, to transform reality. Every time you use your divine creative power, God experiences the joy of creation through you. You're not creating for yourself. You're creating with God. You're God's partner, God's co-creator, God's expression in physical form. When you manifest your desires, you're not being selfish. You're fulfilling your divine purpose. You're allowing God to create through you. You're being what you were designed to be, a creator. If you've made it this far, if every word has been resonating in your soul like a bell that's finally ringing after a lifetime of silence, then you already know the truth. You are a co-creator with God. You have been given infinite creative power. You can manifest anything your heart desires. The only thing stopping you has been forgetting, not knowing, not believing. But now you know. Now you remember. Now you can never unknow this truth. Dolores Cannon spent her life proving that we are not victims. We are not powerless. We are not limited. We are divine beings of infinite creative power. We are God in human form. We are consciousness creating reality. And everything is possible. Everything you want, you can have. Everything you dream, you can create. Everything you desire, you can manifest, not through struggle, not through force, not through suffering, through alignment, through frequency, through faith, through using the divine creative power that God gave you. If these words have awakened the dormant power within you, if you feel the truth of your divine creative nature vibrating in every cell of your being, if you're ready to stop living as a victim and start living as the co-creator God designed you to be, write in the comments, "I activate my divine creative power now." That declaration is powerful beyond measure. It's you announcing to God, to the universe, to your own higher self, "I remember, I know, I believe, and I'm ready to use this power," and then do it. Practice it daily, not tomorrow, not when you feel ready. Now, you're already ready. You've always been ready. God made you ready when God created you. Use your thoughts consciously. Use your emotions powerfully. Use your words with authority. Use your imagination vividly. Use your faith unshakably. Create the life you desire. Manifest your dreams. Be the co-creator God designed you to be. God gave you the power. The universe is waiting for your command. Your higher self is ready to guide you. All of creation is conspiring to support you. The only question remaining is, will you use it? Welcome to your power, divine being. Welcome to your birthright. Welcome to co-creation with God. The life you desire is already created in the quantum field. Now bring it into form. You have everything you need, because you have God within you. And that is everything.